Hey everybody, it's Emily from Homeschooling, and today I'm going to do my September TBR. I didn't have the greatest reading month last month, but I have a lot of books that I really want to get to this month, TBRs are hard because I plan what I want to read, but then I change my mind halfway through and I read other things. So this is just my tentative TBR, and this is what I hope to get through. So I am currently reading Wolf by Wolf by Ryan Groudon, which I am loving so far. This book takes place in an alternate world from ours where World War II ended with Germany and Japan winning the war. So this story is about Yael, who is a survivor working through the resistance in Germany, and she is given this job of assassinating Hitler. She has to win this motorcycle race that they have every year, and the winner gets to meet Hitler, so she is assigned to win so that she can assassinate him, because the assassination has to happen live on television so that people will see it. It takes place in 1956, I believe, and it is just so good so far. I am really, really enjoying the story. I'm a little bit obsessed with World War II and the Holocaust and all of those things, and I just think this book is really well written so far. I'm about, I think I'm on chapter 10, yeah. So I'm on page, what is that? Like 100 pages in, and I'm just really enjoying the story. So I also love that the main character's name is Yael, which was really why I purchased this book, besides the premise sounded really good, but the main character's name is Yael, which is like one of my favorite names. Also what I named my daughter as her middle name, because, you know, it's hard to pronounce apparently. But anyhow, loving this story, excited to finish it. Also this month, I'll be reading Americanah by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie, and this is our book club choice for the Read Like a Mom book club that I and my friend Becky at the Reading Mom are both hosting, and I am really excited to finally pick up this book. I've had it on my shelf since Christmas, I think, and I've been meaning to get to it and just haven't. This book is about a Nigerian woman who lives in America and her experience moving back home and dealing with what it means to be a black living in America as opposed to a black living in Africa and all the things that go with that. It's a really interesting book. I've only just started it. I'm like 28 pages in, but I'm really enjoying it so far, and I think it's going to be one of those books that just sticks with me for a really long time. And I'm excited to discuss this. If you want to join in our book club, I will leave the details down below in the description box, and you can just jump in whenever you want this month. So I look forward to discussing this with you. So I was hoping to get to A Tree Grows in Brooklyn by Betty Smith. Katie at Life Between Words is hosting a read-along this month for this book, and I've been wanting to read it for forever. So I'm like, yeah, I'll do the read-along. But yeah, this book has, I think, been on my shelf for at least 5 years. Probably longer. And I've never read it. And I've always meant to read it, so this seems like a pretty darn good excuse to finally pick it up. I don't really know a whole lot about it, honestly. I think it's a coming-of-age story, and I've always heard everyone put this on like their top 10 lists, and I'm like, why have I not read this? So it's going to happen. Also, I am going to finish Storm of Swords. It's taking me forever, but I'm literally like 200 pages from the end of the book. I'm almost there. It's going to happen. So I will be finishing this up probably in the next few days. And then I'll be moving on. Actually, I'm going to take a break from A Song of Ice and Fire for a little while because I don't want to finish it too quickly because I have no idea when Book 6 is coming out. Winds of Winter is delayed, and I don't know. I don't want to finish the series too fast because I want to be finishing up A Dance with Dragons right before I get the new book. So I'm kind of stalling, but I don't know. I have to pick a book for my Kindle when I finish that one, but I don't know yet. I haven't even looked to see what I have on my Kindle, so I'll figure it out later. Also, I'll be doing some read-alouds with my kids this month, of course, and with my twins, and probably my oldest if she wants to listen in. We're going to be reading Bill Bryson's A Short History of Nearly Everything. This is one of those books that I just really want my kids to read, and I don't think they'll pick this up on their own, so we're going to read it together. And I don't think we'll finish it this month. We'll probably read it for a few months, but at least we'll get started with it this month. This is just a really phenomenal book. It goes into so much information in such a quick and interesting way that you just kind of have to go on rabbit trails when you're reading this because you just want to know more. He describes and explains things in such an interesting way, and I'm just kind of in love with Bill Bryson's writing. I want to read all of his books. But for now, I'm going to be reading this with my kids. Also, with my 7-year-old, we'll be reading Hannah Homeschooler by Suki Westling. This is such an interesting little book, and I wish I had had it when my 17-year-old was young, because she would have eaten this up. This is a book that was written because why are there so many books about little kids going to school and there's no books about a little girl who gets homeschooled or a little boy who gets homeschooled? Why not? Like Junie B. Jones and Ramona Quimbley and all those awesome books that little girls and small children want to read are all about going to school and what that's about. So I love that this is a book about what it's like to be a homeschooler, and it's such a fun little book, and we're a couple chapters in so far, and my 7-year-old is enjoying it, and it's cute. I'm liking it too, so I'll probably do a full review of this when we finish it, but so far so good, and I recommend this if you have a child that you are homeschooling, and you want to give them a book about another kid just like them. It's awesome. And I'm probably not going to be able to read too much more than what I just showed you, but if for some reason I finish all these books and I'm looking for something new, I'm hoping to pick up Vicious by V.E. Schwab. I've had this only for a short time, actually. This is probably one of the newer books on my bookshelf, but I just really want to read it. It sounds fascinating, and it's a standalone fantasy, which I really, really love standalone fantasy because, then you can read it all in one go and you know the whole story. You don't have to wait for the sequel or the 6th book that will never be done, but I'm really intrigued by the plot, and I've heard that V.E. Schwab is a lot of people's favorite author, and I've never read anything by her, even though I own, I think, 2 books on my bookshelf by this author, but I haven't read. And this book, I believe, is about 2, supervillains who are, I don't know if they're dueling or if they were friends or something about supervillains. That's really all I know, but I think it sounds good, so I will hopefully read this and then I'll know more. Another book I know very little about that I really want to pick up is Dark Matter by Blake Crouch. And this book is actually gives me a headache to look at it. I don't much care for this. It's kind of distracting. But it's a sci-fi thriller, and it's, I believe, about a man who, wakes up one day and his entire life that he thinks he knows is not the same life. And he has to figure out what went wrong. On the back, Andy Weir gives it a shout out, and I loved The Martian, so I'm like, okay, I'm in. I don't know much more about it than that, besides that it's got a weird cover that hurts my eyes, but I think it'll be a fun read, and it's a sci-fi thriller, which I'm starting to get more into thrillers, and I've always liked sci-fi, so I think that this will be really fun, and it looks like it's going to be a really fast-paced read, which I love, because then I can finish the book fairly quickly. Also, if I couldn't find it to show you because it's in a box, because my bookshelves still aren't finished, but we're getting there. I was painting today, and I feel like we're almost there. We're almost there. And then I can unpack all my books. And when I do, I'm going to go dig out Winnie the Pooh, because my 7-year-old has been requesting that we read Winnie the Pooh because she has this little stuffed piglet that she carries around with her everywhere. It is her favorite toy. And she's like, we should read Winnie the Pooh, and Piglet would like that. And I was like, yes, we should. She's finally starting to sit still long enough to do chapter books, so I'm like, yes, let's read Winnie the Pooh. It's one of my favorite books to read aloud, and I love Winnie the Pooh. I was obsessed with Winnie the Pooh for most of my childhood and in my adulthood, and I just love reading those books out loud. It's fun. I like to do all the voices. And that is what I plan on reading in the month of September. That's a lot of books. I'm being a little ambitious. But, I always do. I always pick way too many books, and then I only read half of them. But that's okay, because it's good to be ambitious. It's good to want to read lots of books. So, what do you have on your TBR for this month? I'd love to hear about it down below. Thanks for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Happy reading. Bye!